Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Rhino Fishing TV. It's October the 23rd, Friday afternoon, and I'm getting all my stuff ready to go fishing for tomorrow morning. And I'm going to drag one of my kayaks back into my local lake because the ramp and parking lot is still not open, not going to be open until December. But I wanted to tell you that this particular episode is going to be brought to you by Mystery Tackle Box. And this is my October Pro Bass Edition box. I unboxed it in this video right up here, and you can go check that out. But I'm going to try to catch fish using only the baits that are in this box, and I highly encourage you to check them out at the URL in the description down below. And if you're interested in subscribing to Mystery Tackle Box, once you find out what a good deal it is, if you use code RHINO at checkout, you can get your first box for as little as 10 bucks. And while you're there, check out the rest of Carl's Bait and Tackle, and consider becoming a Carl's Club member. You can get your first 30 days free, and you get some great discounts there. Most things are about 30% off, including Guggen baits and a lot of the BioSpawn products. So without further ado, let's crank up the time machine, and we'll go to the lake right now. So let's talk about the baits I have to work with today. You can check out all the details in the unboxing video that I dropped the card for earlier. But I think I'm going to start off with this Dobbins spinnerbait, and I put a trailer on there, and it's that Mayhem, and I forget what the name of it is. It's called the Mayhem Thrust Swim Minnow, and it actually also came with a tube of liquid Mayhem, which I have already applied to the lure. So if I catch a fish on this thing, I'll get at least a twofer, but almost a threefer, if you want to count that tube of goo as something separate. Also, you probably notice I'm not in my bona fide kayak today. I'm in my wife's Wilderness Systems Tarpon 100, and it is a bit tippy, and it usually takes me a while to get my sea legs, so to speak. Right now I feel like I'm about to fall out of it, but we're going to give it a shot, and I'm going to start off with this spinnerbait, and hopefully I can knock it out pretty quickly. I also have 3 finesse type approaches I have to take to get this slam today. 2 drop shots and 1 on a Ned rig. I'll talk about those as they come up. And I have much more confidence in getting those things accomplished than I do some of the moving baits in here. I have a deeper diving crankbait, and also the one that gives me the most angst is the Guggen Baits jig. It's a football jig, and you know how I feel about those. Here's to the MTB Slam. Hope it goes well. 3 casts into it so far, no fish. Oh, and by the way, the rules are I just have to catch a fish on the baits. They don't have to be bass. I hope that they are, but they don't have to be. All right, I haven't been fishing from the kayak in a little bit of time, certainly not successfully, and this is really kind of my first fall fishing adventure since the leaves really started turning. It's really nice out here. I only brought 2 fishing rods today, this Baitcaster that I'm using now to throw this spinnerbait, and a spinning rig to do the drop shotting and Ned rigging on. I'm going to go ahead and get this drop shot rigged up. And I might even fish it a bit just to get some momentum going. Find one of my drop shot baits. I think I'm going to initially put on one of these X-Zone Lures Finesse Slammers. There's a look at it. Very compact, green pumpkin, blue flake. I think I got one on the hook finally, on the spinnerbait. Come on in, buddy. Happy to see you. That's 2 baits down. 2 in 1. He sure is a dink though. You guys see him back there? Get you back in the water. All right, next up on the Slam is that Guggen Baits football jig. It's a 3/8 ounce. I forget the exact name of this jig, but here's a picture of it, and you can check it out. And I'm going to put a trailer on it. I'm going to use the same thing I just had on that spinner bait, that Mayhem Slammer thingy. Okay, that's what it looks like. I know it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but as you know, jigs are not my jam. Let's get it tied on. Boy, I pray for a quick bite on this thing. Even though it's a football jig, I'm tempted to fish it like a swim jig, because otherwise I'm going to be pulling up a whole bunch of salad like this. Well, I don't have to worry about the jig anymore since I just broke it off. Wow. Okay, so now that the jig is gone, on the bait caster I now have tied on the Excite baits. I forget the name of it, but it's like an 8 to 10 foot diver, kind of a shad pattern there, and I'll have to wait until I get out in deeper water to effectively throw that, but that's what I got tied on. I had a bite. Had another bite. I still have that one. Okay, there's my first little pip squeak on the drop shot. There's another bait down. I made a big old mess of my rig though. My next drop shot bait is from Net Bait, and it's called the Contour Worm. And this one is a brown and chartreuse color. And one of my buddies said it looks like it's coconut flavored. I'm not going to taste it, but I think I'm going to rig it up on this drop shot, kind of wacky style. And see if I can get bit on that. Okay, that's what it's going to look like. Alright, my front camera died, but there's one on the drop shot. That gets another bait out of the way. See if I can get it to come on for a few minutes to show it to you. There you go. Little pipsqueak. The next thing on the list as far as finesse fishing go is some terminal tackle, and this is a deadbolt mushroom head jig, so I'm going to tie that on and get it rigged up on the Ned rig, and I'm probably going to put on the Guggen Baits Rattling Ned. So stand by while I get that tied on. Oh, missed it. Didn't miss it that time. Come here, Ned rig fish. What did you just spit up? All right, that takes care of the hard hat jigs mushroom head. Let's see what that leaves us with. I think all I got besides that crankbait that I have tied on is a piece of terminal tackle. It is correct, and it is a 4/0 wide gap hook by Eagle Claw, and not sure what to do with that. What I think I'm going to do is cut off this Ned rig, and I know this is a big hook to be putting on light spinning gear. This one I'm going to do, and I'm going to put a Guggen Baits lumper log on there. There's one on the wacky worm. And that takes care of everything in the box except that Excite crankbait, which I'm going to have to go out in deeper water to concentrate on. Anchor. Okay, here's to hoping I can get a bit on this crankbait. And then we'll be done with the Slam. Sorry, I'm not going to complete it since I broke that jig off. There's one on the crank. Oh, why? Come on, one more fish, and then I get to fish the lures I want to fish. Not sure what those are going to be. There he is. Stay on there, buddy. You little tyke. Okay, that is it for the slam, mostly, except for the jig that I lost. Man, you guys are small today. All right, now I get to fish what I want to fish. So what is that? Last time I was here at the lake, I think I caught 13 all from the bank. You'd think I'd be able to best that from the kayak. What I've done is I've taken that Guggen Squad lunker log, Texas rigged it weightless, and moved it over here to the bait casting rig. So I have a bit more backbone to set a hook when I get bit on it. Oh, that's a nice one. Nicer. I'm just happy to have gotten a good hook set right in the top of the mouth. All right. There's one. All in the slop. That one comes on the Guggen Baits lunker log. Not exactly a lunker though. Yeah, you jumped on it. Oh, you threw it off, you booger. A fish. Aww, another. Next cast. Come here. He's just tiny. Aren't you going to get some spirit here next to the boat? You might be the biggest one of the day there, buddy.